What's up, guys? This is Rikk or Treat, and you are watching the Pumpkin Patch. How's it going, guys? I feel like I haven't done a video in quite some time. I assume that no one's waiting on one, but pretty stoked to be doing this one. I have a few really cool albums to review for you guys. Just a little brief synopsis of how things are going for me. Things are going pretty well. Working a lot, so I'm kind of experiencing some compassion fatigue, but aside from that, I think I will manage. For those of you who do not follow the Writhers, follow us on Instagram at the Writhers, follow us on Facebook. Check out our Bandcamp. We do have our EP, Ghastly Reminders, up. We just announced that we will be doing a small California run in starting Halloween, going from San Diego, Fullerton, Visalia, San Francisco area, and Riverside. If you guys are around those areas, I would love to say hello. Come check us out. I will post the image in this video probably right now, and hope to see you guys there. If you did order an album, Robert is going to be ordering them to be made this week. We all apologize that it's taken so long. We're just really busy, and it's a money thing, unfortunately. Aside from that, we will be doing a podcast tomorrow, the Just Plug podcast. That will be up on SoundCloud. We will promote it when it happens. We've also got some new merch. If you guys haven't seen the stuff that we've already put out, we have t-shirts and patches. But I may have ordered some cool stuff for the tour. Aside from that, the pins that I was making from Fiendship Co., I did get into a little bit more trouble. Got a cease and desist from some people, but on the DL I will be selling them still. Once they're out, then I won't make them anymore, but if you're interested in seeing what the pins are, hit me up, and I can make you a deal. Aside from that, there has been, seeing that it is October, there has been a lot of fucking awesome horror punk coming out. Aside from the two albums that I am going to review right now, I am really stoked to do a review on Horoscope's Beware the Moon album when it comes out at the end of the month, because the singles are so fucking good. Maybe I'm biased because they are one of my favorite modern horror punk bands. Who knows? Maybe I'll hate it, but I really doubt that. I guess without further ado, I should introduce you to the albums that I will be reviewing. I'm going to be reviewing the brand new silent horror album, Silver Screen, and I will also be doing a review on 5 Cent Freakshow's Massive Monster Mayhem. I guess let's jump right into it. Silent Horror, Silver Screen. Short melodic horror punk album. This one takes a little bit of a less of a Graves influence. It's still there. It's still really there. But I hear a lot of Rosedales within Brandel's vocals that I didn't expect compared to the stuff that they had previously. Even with his vocals on like The Witch, I didn't think that it was going to sound like this, so I'm pleasantly surprised, because who doesn't love the Rosedales? From the way it sounds and what I've talked to him about, this album was attempted to be less produced than the previous releases. They wanted a little bit more of a straightforward punk sound rather than the metal influence, and it really shows in these songs. And the lyrical content is straightforward horror punk, no hidden meanings to any of the lyrics, really just about the song, the movies that they're talking about. Seeing that it's called Silver Screen, you might be able to guess that it's mainly classic horror. There is an introduction on it that's pretty cool that sort of overviews the entire um, all the monsters in the movies that they're going to be singing about. Basically, it's a cool little narration prepping for what would be like the feature presentation, which is the album. The first song is the only one that's not really about any particular movie. It is the title track, Silver Screen, and it's more about silver screen horror movies in general. Um, a piece that I think is cool and really dynamic is that the second verse has a section where there's no guitars on it, and then it kind of comes back in, which is a real cool dynamic shift to it. So after this one, and the whole song is really catchy. All the choruses are really catchy on this album. After this song, it goes into King Kong, which is rad because I fucking love King Kong. For those of you who don't know, I at some point want to get a King Kong back tattoo. This one comes in blaring, real dynamic in the intro, and then it's very reminiscent. This one's particularly reminiscent of the Graves era Misfits stuff. This one has a little bit of chants, which I really like. That's probably one of the things I like the most about the older silent horror stuff was that they have like these dynamic chants, and this track has some of those. It has some pretty cool lines where, sorry, I'm apparently really uncomfortable in the way I'm sitting. That's why I'm moving a lot. The lyrics that I think stand out for this one, it's cool that it says it was beauty that tamed the beast, and then by the end it's saying it was beauty that killed the beast. Really cool melody to it. An interesting piece that this song has, and I believe one other song has, is that there are movie clips in it, but I don't think they're actual clips from a movie. They're, one of the band members saying like, without further ado, I bring you Kong, and then it goes back into it goes like it has a song over it, and then it goes back into the lyrics, which is really interesting because most bands will just do a clip from the movie. So this was cool because I don't think I've ever, well, I've heard stuff like this before, but I don't hear it often, so it was really interesting. The next song is, and I would say that this song is my favorite track on the album. Like I said, King Kong's fucking awesome, and that chorus is super killer and super catchy. Next song is Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Really bouncy, really catchy. This one's kind of more of a straightforward melodic punk song. London After Midnight is another really cool one. It kind of has a heavy intro, has some like whoa, like real more whoa style vocals on the choruses. But this one's cool because the vocals on the verse have sort of this like monotone, like Ghost, BC. I'm just gonna call them Ghost, but style vocals where it's kind of more monotone, done on purpose that way. This one has more of a slowed down bridge, like dynamic, heavier bridge than some of the songs before this, and it sort of ends out with like almost a growl or like a really aggressive yell, which is really cool. Creature of the Black Lagoon is the next song. I say that this one's got like the first hint, maybe even the only hint of the sort of D-beat thrash thing that Graves era Misfits did a lot for the verses, and the chorus has that sort of like, and the creature, which is really cool, really catchy, very sonically pleasing. Next track after that is Psycho. This was cool because it has some what I would call like asymmetrical sort of chants where in most chants you have something kind of repeated the same thing throughout, and this one has different lyrics in it, which makes it really interesting to listen to, instead of not that in other songs, if it's the same thing, it's not interesting, but it's just kind of, oh, that's interesting, that's cool. I didn't expect it to be different, on each chant. That's cool. There's a piece that it's the verses where the guitar sort of fits the drum pattern, and the drum pattern has like a open hi-hat, close hi-hat thing, and it adds like this extra bounce to the verses, which is really cool. The next track is The House on Haunted Hill. This one actually does have a clip to it versus someone sort of saying a clip. It ends up being the heaviest track on the album, really bluesy, sort of Danzig-y influenced, like brooding, very like a little bit slower. I think this is the longer song on the album too. And then there's like a dynamic change up at the end. I really enjoyed this one. I think this one's probably my it's hard to say because a lot of these are really cool, but I think this one's probably my second favorite song on the album. If not, it's the next one. The next one is The Phantom of the Opera. This one actually opens up as a boo-wop track and goes into more of a dynamic, fast horror punk banger. Not the typical, not like the D beat fast sort of style, but still a little bit more, aggressive, I guess. And then it ends with the boo-wop change back. This one in particular, there's a few of them, but at least from my ear, I could tell that Brandel was the one on drums with with this song and a few other ones, just based on the dynamics of the fills. He has a really particular style, at least in my ear. And so it was a little odd for me listening overall to the songs and like, hey, wait a minute, this isn't him. Oh, this one is. Okay, I see. But it's definitely something that fans of horror punk in general, and more specifically like melodic, like even while it doesn't entirely sound like Graves era stuff, like Graves era fans, melodic horror punk, melodic punk, Bad Religion, things like that. If you are interested in those sounds, you will enjoy this album. It is a banger, and I'm really stoked that it finally came out. I think it's been a long time coming that they hadn't put anything out. So definitely check it out. I definitely recommend it. And thank you to the guys in the band for allowing me to review it and giving me a copy of it. I appreciate that. On to our next album. This ends up being a little bit more an EP because it is short. 5 songs. 5 Cent Freakshow, Massive Monster Mayhem. Like I said, short songs, real horror-billy like the rest of their stuff. Playful, catchy. Definitely a lot of fun. This one kicks off with Run Fatty Run. Oh my god, it's funny because this one grew on me for sure. At first, I was like, I liked it for sure, but it was like a little too silly in the beginning. But really listening to it a few times to do the review, I definitely enjoy it because I'm picking out different parts. That's like, okay, that's fucking rad. This one starts out with the ice cream truck theme song, that, and starts out with that as a clip for maybe a minute or so, and then you got Nikki yelling like, "Run, fatty, run, ha ha!" And that ha ha, like that part may be my favorite part of the entire song. Just there's some strange, I don't know, just sonically pleasing like piece of it that I really enjoy about that. And the song lyrically, from what I can understand, is like the story of a maniacal ice cream man, like trying to kill people. And so it has this perfect blend of like sinisterness and like campiness, with the chorus legitimately being the "Do Your Ears Hang Low," the ice cream truck song, but la 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 la. It's so fucking hilarious. And then it ends on like, "Who wants ice cream?" This like real sinister, like, again, super campy. Like this is like horror punk to a T, just with a double bass. So I would say I'll go back and say it for the last album, but right now that I'm just reading off of this. I'd say this one, while it's a great song, Camp Crystal Lake is probably my least favorite, not because it's not good, but because it's not as dynamic as the other ones. This one's a little bit more of a melodic boo-wop song, but there's just elements that I feel like don't stand out as much as some of the other tracks. This one starts out with a Friday the 13th clip, and like I said, it goes into a more of a melodic boo-wop chorus, and then has like a boo-wop style ending. I think with this one, and maybe my complaint about the entire EP as a whole is that Nicki's vocals are really reverbed or layered, and I think if that was toned down a little bit, it wouldn't. Not that they get lost, but the dynamic of it gets lost a little bit. Most specifically on this song. Again, by no means a bad song. It's just maybe my choice for the weakest on this EP. War of the Monsters is the following. It also has a clip intro, which a few of these do. It's super catchy, like bouncy lead guitar that goes into the woes with the same pattern, and that ends up being the chorus at the end. That dynamic is really fucking cool. I think that lead, while I can't mimic it, is really, really well done, really well crafted. Same thing with the woes, like kind of following it. Just makes for a really cool, fun song. Now, Satanic Mastermind, definitely my highlight of the album. It also has a clip intro. It's a little bit more aggressive. This one actually reminds me of their song Sweet Elena, maybe a little bit more than the other ones do. This one, is more aggressive, has a lot of woes in it, like definitive horror punk style. There's some dynamic stops in it to sort of accentuate the lyrics of the chorus, like sort of like punch it in there, which is really cool. I really appreciate things like that, and they did a fucking phenomenal job on this one. I just wish it was fucking longer, because this might be the shortest song on the album. Leave it to me to enjoy the one that is only like a minute and a half. But again, definitely my favorite. I'll just listen to it several times. I don't give a shit. It's rad. Bat's Head is definitely my second favorite. And the pattern and lyrical style, or just the way it's like repeated, is very like rock and roll influenced in my opinion. It's super catchy. It's like definitely goes back to the way that Run Fatty Run is organized, sort of like playful and bouncy, and just a lot of fun to listen to. I think this one definitely comes up as my second favorite in the album, and I would love to see this one played live. I think it'd just be a lot of fun to watch and to bop to, for sure. Like I said, I guess I would say the highlight for me on this one, Satanic Mastermind, and my low light, I guess, is Camp Crystal Lake. I guess going back real fast to Silver Screen, I would say highlight is, this one's tough. There are a lot more songs on it. Highlight is King Kong. Low light is maybe The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. While it's bouncy and catchy, I think maybe the dynamics aren't as strong as the other ones. Again, by no means are these albums bad, or these tracks bad, I mean. There's just, not every song is a banger all the time, and that's okay. Or maybe it's just the way I feel for it at the moment, and maybe 5 minutes from now I'll be blasting both of them and I'll love them more than the others. Who knows? Anyways, in order to try and keep this a semi-short video that people will actually watch, I want to ask you guys if you have listened to Silver Screen by Silent Horror, if you've listened to Massive Monster Mayhem by 5 Cent Freakshow. If so, please leave a comment and let me know what you think. If you haven't, I will leave the links in the description, and make sure to share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll catch you guys when I myself am on tour, and if not, maybe I'll be coming to your town soon. Alright, as always, this has been Rikk Retreat, and I hope you guys have a great day. I am going to see Calabrese today, so maybe I'll do a video about that later, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.